last week, really a tough week. A lot of work went into it. Played 2 games in 3 days to finish, and now preparing to go on the road and play an excellent Seton Hall team. So early in the season here, our guys have really had to take on a lot, and learning from our mistakes, watching a lot of film, and then also trying to stay as fresh as we possibly can with these games sort of stacked up the way that they are. As a coaching staff has really put some concern on us and how much we can actually even practice right now. It's tough to absorb all the work that we want to put in, and at the same time, keep a mindful approach that these games are coming fast and furious, and it's putting us in a situation to take a little time back, watch some film with the guys, try to keep them as fresh as possible, and also try to get better here early in the season when it's tough to practice. So it's been challenging, and I think it's going to give us a good indication how we're going to have to do things throughout the course of the season with how our schedule lays out.
First question, Mike.
Coach, obviously the 33s that your opponents had those first 2 games, as you went through the film, was there any common themes to why those open looks happened?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we spent a lot of time talking about yesterday as a team is the communication factor. Of the 30 made threes that went in the first 2 games, I would say that about 12 or 15, maybe 12 or 15 of the actual shots that went in didn't even have to be taken. Whether that's communicating on switching, whether that's doing your job and proper technique and ball screen coverage, whether you're getting back fast enough and you're running hard enough to get back and get your defense set. To me, there's probably 10, 12 of those shots that went in that are preventable from even going up if we're just doing our job. And that was one. I think the other thing is, obviously, getting beat off the dribble and penetration really hurts. And right now, just being able to guard the ball and keep things in front of us has been challenging. So penetration has broken us down. And I also think that we played some terrific shooters, obviously. I think, Indiana State, at one point being 17 for 22, I'm not sure you're going to be able to absorb a lot of the ones that went in. I mean, they were tough shots. And then I think, against Howard, you played another team that really had some prolific shooters. I mean, they made 12 at George Washington, came in and made 13. I think 5 or 6 of those are that's a tough shot. So I think, it's a combination of things. But I think just doing our job, proper technique, communication, we can be better. I think that will help us.
Mike?
Just status on Juwan. Do you expect Juwan to play?
I'm not sure if Juwan will play tomorrow. And Devontae actually got really nicked up at the end of the game with a thigh bruise. So we have those 2 guys sort of right now getting treatment and getting evaluated. As we approach practice this afternoon, we probably won't have either available for practice, and Hartman continues to be out. So injury-wise, we're a little banged up. We're hopeful that both Devontae and Juwan by game time tomorrow will be ready to go, but we have to wait and see.
Stu.
Just pending Juwan's availability, obviously, I mean, how important is having a guy like Justin continue the level of play like he had this past Sunday?
Yeah, I think he's going to get thrown into the fire. For him, that's awesome because he's going to get live reps, and that's how you learn how to improve. As a player, you have to get in there and play, and when you're thrust into the fire, you're going to live with some mistakes. You're going to live with inexperience, but in the long run, it will definitely help him. And Justin's going to have to be ready to go for us. I think as we get ready to approach some of these games, it just looks like we're going to be a team that sort of is going to need all bodies on hand just because of the nature of the season, injuries. It's going to be tough, but I thought he did a nice job against Howard. We also spent a lot of time watching film on how much better he can be, how much tougher he's going to have to be, and especially as we get ready to go to Seton Hall, this is going to be one of those a game, so to speak, for the men. There's no boys sort of allowed when you're playing against Seton Hall. So Justin's going to have an opportunity to step up and play against a really, really good forwards and front court players, on Wednesday.
Ron, I know it's a small sample size, but he talked a lot in the offseason about conditioning, how it would help his fouls, how it would help him maybe stay more aggressive. Do you feel like through 2 games, maybe the ability to be good on defense, good on the boards, and avoid those fouls really kind of stood out for you?
Yeah, he played 25 minutes against Howard, and I think he did a nice job. I think, like I said before, sometimes it's game conditioning. He needs to get used to playing in the games, and once he gets used to playing in the games, he'll be better. But he gets tired quickly, and I think, from a staff perspective, we have to recognize, how long he can go before he gets tired, because when he does get tired, we have to get him out, and that's important in terms of the fouling. When you're fatigued, you're gonna make mistakes. So getting him in and out, getting him proper rest is important. But I do think that he's going to be able to play longer stretches as we play bigger and better teams. He's going to have to really be, smart about how he approaches post defense and whatnot, doing his work early, so he's not, getting fouled, because he's going to play against good front court players that are going to attack him, especially one on Wednesday, being in Delgado. So, but I think he's getting used to it, and we're hopeful that Deron can, log big games for us in terms of minutes, because I think you can see that he's a presence down there. He has the ability to get baskets, and he has the ability to get fouled, and that's important.
Mike, go ahead.
Just kind of following up on that, with Delgado, he's been kind of a double-doubles machine. You guys are obviously hurting in the front court. How do you kind of view that matchup right now? What kind of concern is there going into a matchup with that?
Oh, it's a great concern. I mean, we're not the only team in the country that is concerned when you play against him. I mean, he does an amazing job, as good of a rebounder as there is in the nation. He's averaged, I think, 13, 14 rebounds last year a game. He had, I don't know, 100 plus offensive rebounds. If you look at a small sample size of what he's done early this season, he's on 5 offensive rebounds a game. So it's not as if he's not doing that to everybody. That's just what he does. He's a great player. But it's an awareness thing going in. The attention to detail on, weak side blockouts, our guards getting in there and helping out, keeping your body on them early. When the shot goes up, staying attached. There's going to be a lot of little details, but make no mistake, he's doing that pretty much against everybody. So, but rebounding was a big emphasis coming out of this first weekend. We didn't do a good job on the glass, and blocking out is going to be maybe one of the most important things happening on Wednesday night.
Archie, events like this, the Gavitt Games, do you like this? Do you embrace this? Do you look forward to this type of
Well, they're great opportunities for, showcase games early in the season. And I think that's always important for college basketball, is to get out there on national television and play against, great opponents that are going to prepare you for, your league play. Being in the Gavitt Games, this will be our second opportunity. Next year, we're in it again, 3. And I think you're required to be in it 4 out of however many years the contract is. And also even the Big Ten Challenge. It gives you those early season marquee matchups that college basketball fans, I think, want to see, so it's good for the game.
Mike?
They've got some size of guard too. It's not just a matter of their size inside. That double figure scores a guard with some height. Makes it even more challenging for the defense.
Yeah, this is a high major team. You got Desi Rodriguez playing on the wing. 6'6", 215, 20 pounds, whatever he is. I mean, he's an absolute bulldozer, and we're not set up or built yet with that type of front court size. So we're going to have to be scrappy. We're going to have all hands on deck. Carrington's a real physical guard. Powell, physical. I mean, you're playing probably one of the toughest teams, just toughness-wise. This is a tough team, and I think anybody will tell you over the last few years the job that Kevin has done has been amazing. But when you talk to people in the Big East, or you talk to just college coaches that are familiar with Seton Hall, the very first thing that you're going to say is, you guys are going to have to be tough when you play them. So it's going to be a great challenge for us physically.
All right.
Coach, I think you said after the Howard game that following Indiana State, you guys were kind of shell-shocked a bit and maybe lacked confidence. Do you think the win against Howard helped boost the team's confidence?
It's always good to get a win, and I think playing together is important for this group right now. I think we're searching for an identity on both sides of the ball. Part of it is the identity that we're trying to create and having a group of people that haven't played a ton of minutes together. There's new personnel on the floor right now that wasn't on the floor a lot last year. So, we're going through some growing pains just as much as anything. And I think we'll get better because we're going to get more experience playing together. We're going to get more games under our belt. But definitely, I think when you have an opening weekend like we've had, there's probably some confusion there, like, wow, why did that happen? Part of the reason that it's happened is we're not a great team yet. And I don't mean X's and O's or basketball. I'm talking about just team, together, tough, identity. The things that, when you play really good teams, it's the first thing that stands out is the collectiveness and what they have. And I think right now, not by any design, it's just a group kind of searching for, individuals searching for how's this going to work, and first couple games, what's it look like? until we get a group that's committed and really understands sort of how we're gonna have to do it together, you know, we're gonna have some ups and downs. And I think this is a huge test for us going on Wednesday night to play against a terrific team, you know, and they're experienced, they're veteran-led. This is gonna be one of those come-together type of opportunities for us. We gotta be stronger mentally, and we've gotta come together more, and we've gotta understand that, you know, collectively, how we're gonna have to do it to be successful is a lot different than sort of how it's gone right now. And I think then you'll start to see a little bit more consistent play.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.